Today, drinking an iced latte. Good. Honey, sweetened it with honey, whole milk, and the espresso beans I used are Collectivo brand, and it's the Toro Express. Oh no, it's the Toro Espresso. Should I be drinking 2 shots of espresso at 5 p.m.? Usually I'm okay. Every once in a while I'm not. Lord, let me be okay tonight. I want to interject here before I start. If I'm ever talking about something on my channel, something in a podcast episode that triggers you, if you're struggling with your relationship with food, your body image, whatever it may be, and something triggers you, please skip forward, click off the video, click off the podcast. I never want to create a stumbling block for you. I never want to hinder you in whatever way. I want my content to serve you. And sometimes I'm going to talk about like stuff that I've struggled with and stuff that I may be struggling with. And as I have recorded episodes for this podcast, like I've been learning stuff about myself and my journey with healing my relationship with food and my relationship with food now. So it's not perfect. I'm not perfect. What I tell you is not perfect. I'm not an expert. I'm just here with you, or I've been where you've been, or I would like to be an encouragement to you. So if that's not the case, if that's not working for you, I will not be offended. Go ahead, click off, skip forward, whatever you need to do. So food is the one drug that you cannot quit cold turkey. Other substances, you can separate yourself from. The temptation may still be there, but you can physically separate yourself from them. Food is essential for you to keep on living. And as someone who has struggled with their relationship with food, restrictive eating, binge eating, I often wanted, especially during the binge eating, I wanted to just like separate myself from food. If I could just stay away from it, I could stop binge eating, could heal my relationship with food. But when you have an unhealthy relationship with food, whatever way you sway, not eating enough, eating a lot, it's always on your mind. When you don't have a healthy relationship with food, you are probably thinking about what you ate, when you ate last, what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat, how long it's going to take for you to feel hungry again so you can justify eating again, what you should eat because of what you just ate. It's a whole thing. So talking about the food, thinking about food is not an unhealthy thing. It becomes an unhealthy thing when you think about it in the way that I just said. When, what you just ate, what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat. All those food rules in your head, that scheduling, that maybe you're calculating, you're like, okay, I can afford to eat this, and then I have to like, if I eat this, then I have to do this much exercise. That is when thinking about food is unhealthy. It is okay to enjoy food. It's okay to enjoy the different characteristics of food. I'm someone who likes to cook and bake. So I enjoy thinking about food and talking about recipes with other people. And now it's easy to do, and I'm not obsessing about food all the time. But when I was struggling, I didn't want to go out with people for dinner or half apps at Applebee's after volleyball practice. I didn't look forward to Sunday afternoons going to family friends' house because we always had some sort of a dessert and a bunch of other snacks, and I knew I was going to overeat. Or that was all I could do was think about the food when I was supposed to be there, like just enjoying fellowship with people I loved. I didn't look forward to going to Christmas parties because all I could think about was like, okay, I shouldn't eat anything now because if I eat now, I'm not going to be hungry when it's mealtime, but I'm going to be hungry. And so I'm going to just be thinking about, okay, when can I eat next? But distancing myself from food or trying to implement food rules upon myself didn't help. I just missed out on making memories with people. I missed being in the moment with people. And as I'm talking about this, I realize like food is usually enjoyed with people, and I think that's a good thing. I grew up eating supper together with my family every night, and now I don't mind like if I'm just with like one or two friends and we are just like hanging out, maybe we're having a little sleepover. If we eat while watching a movie, but majority of the time, no matter who I'm with, if I'm with someone, I want to just be with that person eating food, even if it's just coworkers on a random Monday lunch, just going out and like conversing and like maybe you go to a different cuisine, you go to a different restaurant that serves a unique cuisine, and you can just talk about what you like, what you don't like, what's different about what makes it this way versus that way. And you just have that, it's a conversation starter. So if you are struggling with your relationship with food and you just want to avoid food, it's not going to solve your relationship with food. Food is good. Food is fuel. Food is something that brings people together. Food can be art. Food can be science. When I was in the worst of my struggling with my relationship with food, in both the really restrictive season and in the binging season, I didn't like eating with people because in the restrictive season, I was very strict in calorie counting, and I knew what I ate might be weird or it might be really small portions or blah, blah, blah. And so like, it was almost like I was always on guard. I'm like, oh, who's going to say something about what I'm eating? And then with binging, it was just like, okay, it was kind of like, okay, act normal at family dinner, and then afterwards we can sneak food. Or at like family gatherings, or when there's a bigger group of people, like I was like, I want to eat all these different things, but like people are going to notice that either I'm hardly eating anything, or people are going to notice that like I'm eating so much and they're going to judge me. And when I was restricting and not eating a lot, like people did comment, like, and it wasn't healthy. Like I wasn't being healthy. Like I was having at school, in high school, during lunch, I had really small portions of a vegetable, a protein, and a starch. Relatively balanced, but not enough. And I don't remember anything any of the people I sat with said specifically, but like looking back now, I was like, oh, like, and I didn't, looking back now, like, I really hope I wasn't a bad influence on someone else of like, I was too thin at some points. And at that age, like, everyone's looking at everyone else. We're teenagers. We're like, everyone wants to like be accepted by their peers, and being thin was like part of that. And so looking back, I hope that wasn't the case. I hope I didn't give the impression that if you eat like me, you'll be skinny. And then on the flip side, I don't think anyone ever commented on like how much I was eating, like eating too much. But like I knew, like some of the time I probably wasn't eating too much. And at other times I was eating in private, so no one saw me. And so I just wanted to be alone with my food so that no one was judging me. And I think that was a problem. It was unhealthy because sometimes things start to heal when you put your secrets out in the light, and eating shouldn't be a secret. It's completely normal, and it's completely normal to try to figure out what works for you, what satisfies you and your body, what foods are good for you, and trying different foods and trying different recipes and learning about foods and trying new foods. That's nothing to be ashamed of. And I think we as humans, we are social beings, and a lot of time with school and with work, you start your day, you probably eat breakfast alone. Maybe you eat it with someone. But then you go to work, maybe you are someone who collaborates and you're with people all the time, or you're in your cubicle by yourself a lot of the time, and then you have occasional collaboration with a coworker or your team. And then in college, you may or may not have people to eat lunch with. At work, you may or may not have people to eat lunch with. And then repeat in the afternoon. Are you spending your time alone in class? You're spending time alone in your cubicle. You're spending time kind of alone in meetings because there's a good chance it's virtual. And then you go home, or you go back to your dorm, or you go wherever you go, and are you alone or are you with people? And maybe you do want some time by yourself. And that's okay too. But as social beings, like food, since like the beginning of time, food is something that has gathered people together. And I think it's good. I think it's very good to have someone to eat with. So avoiding food. You can't do it forever. You can't quit it cold turkey. It's not drugs or alcohol. It's not looked at in the same way as other substances. And food addiction I don't think it's seen as a big problem, or it's not a noticeable problem. And I don't consider food addiction something that just like you just want to eat all the time. I think food addiction is just, if I may put my own definition onto it, of you're always thinking about it. If you're struggling with your relationship with food, your body image, if you're struggling with eating disorder, leave a comment down below on YouTube if I'm wrong, but you're almost always thinking about food. And that is not why God put us here on earth. I personally think that the devil can use eating disorders and our relationship with food, something that is supposed to be good, something for us to enjoy and fuel our body and heal our body in some circumstances. He uses that obsession to distract us from better things, from our purpose, from hope, from joy. And I encourage you have to keep fighting. It's hard and it's a long road of healing your relationship with food, but it's so worth it. And it's so worth being able to openly talk about food and the things you like and the things you like to eat and the things you like to bake and cook, and look forward to going out to eat with friends, because yes, you get to enjoy yummy food, but you get to spend time with people you love. You get to look forward to birthdays and holidays, not just because of the yummy food, but because of spending time with people you love and people you enjoy and making memories, instead of, like me, looking back at some Christmas parties, some gatherings, some get-togethers. The one Christmas, I don't remember who I talked to at all while I was there for several hours. I just remember like being anxious about food and like, okay, I can't eat anything off the snack table because then I will feel full. And then when it's supper time, I'll have to eat to keep up appearances. And then I'll eat and then I'll feel full. And then it was not healthy. And I don't want anyone to be in that situation. I don't want anyone to stay in that season of their life. I want you to keep fighting through that storm, process, heal, figure out your triggers, like talk to someone if you need to. I don't know your case, and everyone's case is different. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. A light at the end of the tunnel where you can just walk out of the tunnel. And it's so worth it. Food is good, but in between times when you're eating or cooking or planning meals, healing that relationship with food, once you can stop obsessing about everything around food, it gives your brain so much more bandwidth to rediscover your hobbies, to create a YouTube channel, to create a podcast, to renew relationships that have gone by the wayside because you're obsessed with food. It gives you the bandwidth to relax and dive into a book. Pick reading back up again. It gives you the bandwidth to be a better employee, to be a better brother or sister, to be a better friend, to be a better spouse, to be a better girlfriend or boyfriend, to be a better son or daughter, to be a better parent. Because your mind is no longer constantly thinking about food. Once you can start healing that relationship with food, or heal from it completely, it gives you a brighter outlook on life. You're hopeful for the future. You look forward to gatherings. You look forward to your dreams. You dream again. You look forward to things. You plan. You have ambitions. You enjoy life. All the aspects of it. Nothing is off limits. You aren't in a box around food about when you can eat, what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat, how much exercise you need to do. You take yourself out of that box of rules that you created or that society helped you create. Food is good, but life is about so much more than it. While at the same time, food can be a cherry on top. It can make things more exciting. You can go to the movies again and just enjoy having a fun snack while you're watching a movie. So if you're trying to heal your relationship with food, like I said, I don't know your exact situation, but avoiding food isn't going to work. Like physically avoiding food isn't going to fix the problem because eventually you have to go back to food. That's just the reality of life. Everyone eats. Everyone gathers with other people and there's food involved. Food is meant to be enjoyed. And if you are physically avoiding food, thinking that it's going to help you heal and get towards the version that you want to be, a healthy version that you want to be, tell me you're not obsessing about food in your head. Tell me. But I encourage you, like I just mentioned, if you're struggling, imagine the healthy version of you. What is the healthy version of you around food? Who is that person? The healthy, healed version of you. Do you want to be able to go out with friends and just grab food and hang out? Do you want the healthy version of you to be able to go to the movie theater and pick the snack you really want and just enjoy it without guilt and then you go home after the movie? The healthy version of you, do they want to be able to go to a family gathering, a holiday, a birthday, a wedding, and be able to enjoy the event and the food. It's just part of it. Think about that. The healed version of you. Will they talk about food? Heck yeah. They're going to talk about that delicious dessert that their coworker brought in. They're going to talk about that amazing recipe they made last weekend. They're going to talk about that amazing food at that barbecue they had last summer. But they're not going to be anxious about food. They're not going to dread going to get-togethers because they don't feel like they can control food, or they don't know what's going to be there. They don't know the caloric value of the food that's going to be there, so they can't calculate it. The healthy version of you isn't going to think about that. The healthy version of you is going to enjoy food, but they're also going to enjoy all the other aspects of their life. They're going to enjoy their friends and family. They're going to enjoy their hobbies. Their life is not going to be obsessed with food. So if you're trying to heal your relationship with food, if you're trying to heal from an eating disorder, is it bad to talk about food? No. You may have a lot of thoughts in your head about food. Food and everything about food may consume your mind. You just can't avoid it. Maybe it's actually good to talk about food. Maybe it's even better to learn about food. Food isn't just calories. Food is fuel for your body. Food helps your body heal itself. Food helps your body function. Learn more about food. Learn what nutrients certain foods have. Learn about the benefits of foods. Learn about balancing a plate. Learn about how foods and those nutrients impact your body. How they give you energy. How the different vitamins and minerals impact different parts of your body. How getting enough vitamins and minerals can help your hair grow strong and your nails grow strong. How carbohydrates aren't bad. They're good. They give you energy. Your brain runs off of carbs. So when I say carbs, pasta, rice, bread, etc. Switch the narrative of food. It's not just something that we have to eat. Food isn't just something that our taste buds like. It is both of those, yes. But it can be so much more. The health benefits and giving us energy and a whole bunch of other things that scientists and nutritionists and dietitians would know that I don't. Just don't miss out on life because you're avoiding food. It's harder to heal your relationship with food because you need it. So it's daily trial and error. Feeling like you got knocked down and getting back up every single time. But it's so worth getting up every single time because no matter how long it takes, it's so worth it on the other end of it. Life is so much better and brighter. Things become so much more fun. I'm not promising life will be perfect. It'll just be one last thing that makes life hard. If you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you'd like more content from me, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know when I drop the next video. If you are listening on podcasts, I encourage you to follow if you would like to. And I would love it if you would give the podcast a rating and review. Again, this is I'm Bringing Healthy Back. I'm Rachel, and I will see you guys in the next video, which I will pop here on screen, or I'll link down below in the show notes, and I'll see you guys there.